Our event is being interpreted in Spanish and Portuguese, so for those interested in such services, you can obtain more information and the necessary equipment in the auditorium lobby, and again, look for any individual with the MLK branded shirt. Now, in the event of an emergency, this is the part of the program I really like, because in the event of an emergency, I'm supposed to tell you to look for an exit, but what you can really do is follow me, because I'm getting out of here as quickly as possible. But I am asked to remind you of the exits. Please look for them. They are either at the top where you came in, or there are exits around the wings here. Our accessibility exit, our primary accessibility exit, would be over here to your left, behind the stage. Through the generosity of tonight's featured musicians, recording is permissible. Recording is permissible. Right, I mean, how often can you say that at a concert? Though I do see people recording all the time. I don't know why the recording police don't get them. You are invited to discreetly record one or more moments for your future enjoyment. We only ask that you share and post any content responsibly and with care. Speaking of responsibility and care, many of RISD's programs begin with thoughtfulness. The responsibility we have to honor the spaces in which we exist and care toward people who have worked for our benefit to enjoy such gatherings as these. So before we begin tonight's program, I will settle us in RISD's land acknowledgement. Rhode Island School of Design is built on what is now called College Hill, part of the ancestral homelands of the Narragansett Indian tribe. Indigenous people from many tribes and nations, near and far, live, study, and work in Providence today. The amplification of Native voices and histories is crucial to rectifying the many violent legacies of colonialism, and we gratefully acknowledge the ongoing critical contributions of all Indigenous people across our state, region, and nation. And if you are here tonight and a member of the Indigenous community, you are welcome. Now, for the care part, many hands, hearts, and talent went into tonight's concert. Our staff, our student volunteers are among the many reasons why MLK has enjoyed a 14-year run. Would you help me tonight in celebrating and acknowledging our Martin Luther King Committee of Volunteers for their good and hard months of work to realize tonight's event? Would you please give them a round of applause? At this point, I would like for you to direct your attention to the screen as we begin tonight's program. We will start with words from Dr. King himself. The short video will be followed by welcoming remarks from Dr. Rami Hanna, RISD's Vice President for Social Equity and Inclusion. Welcome and enjoy.
Without going through constant moments of self-examination. And I must confess that at moments when I begin to wonder whether I am adequate, whether I'm able to face all the challenges and even the responsibilities of this particular position. I don't think anyone in a situation like this can go through it without confronting moments of real fear. But I've always had something that gave me an inner sense of assurance and an inner sense of security in the final analysis, even in the moments of loneliness. Something ultimately came to remind me that in this struggle, because it is basically right, because it is a thrust forward to achieve something not just for Negro people, but something that will save the whole of mankind. And when I have come to see these things, I always felt a sense of cosmic companionship, so that the loneliness and the fear have faded away because of a greater feeling of security, because of commitment to a moral ideal.
What a powerful speech about overcoming internal fears and the moral wave we may experience in our commitments to social justice. Good evening and welcome. My name is Rami. I use he, they pronouns and serve as the Vice President for Social Equity and Inclusion here at RISD. I'm deeply humbled to have you join us this evening as we come together to honor the life, legacy, and enduring impact of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Events like these remind us of our shared commitment to social equity and inclusion, and to the collective power we hold to foster transformative change across our campus and beyond. As one of the greatest civil rights leaders in modern history, Dr. King's courage and unwavering purpose has shaped my own personal and professional journey. His dedication to justice, education, and service continues to guide my beliefs that each of us carries a responsibility to preserve his dream and to reimagine its place in our community today. At RISD, social equity and inclusion is both a process and a goal. It's an ongoing journey toward institutional transformation. It's a call to action that asks each of us to engage deeply, to build understanding, to celebrate the richness of our diverse identities, and to help create an environment of belonging and care. Our work is more than just inclusion. It's about education, reflection, empowerment. It's about cultivating self-awareness, nurturing empathy, and preparing our artists and designers and global citizens to lead with creativity and conviction. As we gather to reflect on Dr. King's vision, we also return to the arts, which has always played a central role in the movement for justice. Music and arts are a language of our humanity. They heal us, they unite us, and they remind us that progress often begins with courage to imagine something bigger. Tonight, we're honored to welcome the Marian Anderson String Quartet, a group whose presence embodies the spirit of artistry, service, and inspiration that Dr. King championed. Just as music fuels the civil rights movement, it continues to inspire the harmony and resilience our world so urgently needs, at this time especially. And as we begin this evening of celebration, let us also embrace the spirit of healing, the rest, the restoration, and the reflection required to sustain this work for the long haul. Let us continue to lead with compassion, be advocates and bridge builders, and show kindness and gratitude to others. And above all, remember that you belong, that each of you contributes to transforming our campus and community for the better. We'll now hear a final expert by Dr. King, followed by an introduction to the Marian Anderson String Quartet by Tony Johnson. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the concert.
I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
My role at this point in our program is to prepare us for the remarkable concert that awaits. That said, mine is the last voice before our guests and our honorees take the stage. But before they do, I'd like to draw your attention to tonight's program and song lyric booklet. The Marian Anderson String Quartet's concerts are certainly ones to be enjoyed quietly, where one can sit and enjoy the musicality of the ensemble. For the quartet, though, they are also equally about community. And in support of that belief, they have provided tonight's attendees with the lyrics of tonight's music selection, in case you choose to follow along. You can also hum the words as they perform, or quietly sing. Quietly sing. Quietly sing along if you know the tunes. So if you scan the QR code on the screen, it will provide you with the order of tonight's program as well as the lyrics. And you are encouraged to respectfully sing along if so inclined. If you need help with that, simply raise your hand if you're able, and a person with the branded MLK t-shirts will come running to support you. Fear is a disease that eats away at logic and makes man inhumane. Those are the words of contralto Marian Anderson, who penned that fear is a disease that can eventually drive people to inhumanity. I believe the counter to that statement would be that the opposite of fear is love, and that love has the ability to heal and eventually drive people to care and to humanity. On September 30th, 1989, the members of the Marian Anderson String Quartet, then known as the Chaminade Quartet, came together, unaware that they would soon change history in 1991 because the quartet won the International Cleveland Quartet Competition, then becoming the first African-American ensemble in history to win a classical music competition. I'm gonna say that again. In 1991, the quartet won the International Cleveland Quartet Competition, there becoming the first African-American ensemble in the history of the United States to win a classical music competition. I'm telling you, they bad, y'all. To highlight this singular achievement, the members of the quartet asked permission of the great contralto Marian Anderson to use her name as their own. Miss Anderson responded with heartfelt approval, and in a memorable show of gratitude, the now Marian Anderson String Quartet played for its legendary namesake and her nephew, conductor James DePriest. The Marian Anderson String Quartet's artistic endeavors, concerts, and talks have brought them to New York's Alice Tully Hall, the Corcoran Gallery, the National Gallery of Art, the Library of Congress, the Cleveland Institute of Music, Kilbourne Hall, the University of Southern California, the Quad City Arts in Iowa, New York's 92nd Street Y, the Boston Conservatory and Berklee College of Music, the Chateau Canac Brown in Bordeaux, France, and a distinguished performance history ranging from the Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center to their 1993 performance at Washington, D.C.'s Kennedy Center, as a part of the, to Washington, D.C.'s Kennedy Center as part of the 52nd presidential inauguration celebration of President Bill Clinton. In addition to the quartet's faculty positions at numerous universities throughout the country, they completed a graduate fellowship program at the acclaimed Shepherd School of Music at Rice University. They were quartet in residence at the City College of New York, were an ensemble in residence at UCLA, were the ensemble in residence at Prairie View A&M University, at Texas A&M, and Blinn College. And right next door, they were Brown University's Hindmark Inaugural Artist in Residence at the Center for the Study of Slavery and Justice. I told y'all they bad. The quartet is driven by their belief in the power of education, so much so that the quartet has performed in hundreds of churches, libraries, museums, soup kitchens, and prisons. They have brought their craft to countless children across America under the auspices of Young Audiences, the Decamera of Houston, and Project Grad, which means graduation really achieves dreams, in Houston, Texas. In 2000, the quartet was awarded a royal residency grant bringing music and culture to communities in the South and Southwestern United States. In 2008, the quartet received the prestigious Guarneri String Quartet Award for Chamber Music America. It awards annual residency grants specifically designed for string quartets. And this particular award funded an extensive outreach project featuring the quartet that benefited inner city school children in Seattle, Washington. For just shy of 1 decade, the quartet founded and ran the Marian Anderson String Quartet Community Music School and the Summer Community Music Institute. So as you can see, this quartet embodies, in many ways, the legacy of Dr. King, the excellence of Marian Anderson, and the host of other freedom fighters and liberation seekers. Indeed, the Marian Anderson String Quartet has made its impact on every audience fortunate enough to hear it. And tonight, we, the Rhode Island School of Design and Greater Providence community, are those fortunate ones. So, please help me welcome in a Rhode Island way, in a Providence way, and a RISD way, RISD's 2026 Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King honorees in full concert, the Marian Anderson String Quartet. Please put your hands together.
Good evening. Thank you for having us. It's always wonderful to come back here. We just love Providence, Rhode Island. My name is Marianne Henry, and I'm going to start off the concert by talking a little bit about At the Purchaser's Option with variations. It was written in 2016 by Rhiannon Giddens, and then transcribed for string quartet in 2017 by Jacob Garchek. It was commissioned through the Chrono String Quartet 50 for the Future. So it was 50 string quartets that students can get for free online. This piece is very significant. The song, The Purchaser's Option, was written after Miss Giddens saw an advertisement from the 19th century of a 22-year-old female enslaved woman whose 9-month-old baby was also for sale. But it was at the purchaser's option, and that really touched her. And so this song came out of that. She, thought about what these women went through and when the baby was taken and how they continued to show up. And things that we just take for granted today. It's our right to have children and to keep our children, right? And back then, they could just take it. And so, anyway, I'm going to read the words of this song, and then we will play it for you. I've got a babe, but shall I keep him? 'Twill come the day when I'll be weeping. But how can I love him any less, this little babe upon my breast? I've got a body dark and strong. I was young, but not for long. You took me to bed a little girl and left me in a woman's world. Day by day, I work the line. Every minute overtime. Fingers nimble, fingers quick. My fingers bleed to make you rich. And the refrain, you can take my body. You can take my bones, you can take my blood, but not my soul. You can take my body, you can take my bones, you can take my blood, but not my soul.
Hi, guys. The next piece on our program is a work by Samuel Adler, who was the composer in residence at the Eastman School of Music. Now, of course, we were backstage eavesdropping on the incredible introduction that we received, and we're standing there looking at each other going, is he talking about us? And one of the things that was mentioned was that we were the first African-American string quartet in history to win a competition in the classical field. And you guys lovingly clapped, but we're artists, and so we're applause hungry. Please feel free to clap for that again. Now, we were just young kids, just trying to put our fingers on strings and make something beautiful happen. And in all honesty, we did not set out to make history. Frankly, I don't think anybody who does make history sets out intending to. We just kind of stumbled into this circumstance, and now the sort of almost the blessed burden of it was put in our laps. And we were sitting talking to the director of the Eastman School of Music, Dr. Robert Freeman, and he was asking us to explore renaming ourselves. I guess the word now is rebranding ourselves, so that we could reflect this achievement in the name of our quartet. At the time, we were named the Chaminade Ensemble. Please note that there's no applause after that. We have no idea. we had no idea. We were just young kids. We thought that it was cool naming ourselves after a French flautist. Who knows? We were young. And so here we are going through some options. And we thought about Reverend Martin Luther King. We thought about Frederick Douglass, who was actually a violinist, and so that could have been a great option. And then the name Marian Anderson came to mind. And we thought, no, she's not a string player, but she exemplified two things: everything that we feel proud to be and everything that we aspire to be. And we thought that that was a name that would tell people both who we are and who we intend to continue growing to be as a string quartet. And so Dr. Robert Freeman went through the channels and spoke to James DePriest and spoke to the folks at Marian Anderson's estate and asked if we could use her name as the name of our quartet. And we were stunned with joy when she agreed. And so to thank her, we flew to Portland, Oregon, where she was living with her nephew, James DePriest, to play for her in her living room. And imagine this. Imagine you're sitting in your string quartet position, and Marian Anderson is sitting on the sofa. Sitting on the sofa, and she had a little bit of a cold, and she is a diva first, last, and always. And so she's wrapped in a fluffy white blanket and covered with her lovely little robe, and her nurse is standing at her side, and James DePriest is there, and only one of them had long 3-inch blood-red fingernails. And so we played two pieces. We played Haydn Lark Quartet because we know that she's a classicist, and we played Shostakovich's 7th String Quartet because we know James DePriest is a big fan of 20th century music. And each of us had an opportunity to speak with her and to shake her hand and to tell her how grateful we were. And we went to shake her hand, and a normal person shakes hand like this, but a diva shakes hands like this. And I really did. I had this incredible, it's like genuflected kiss her ring. I was just so overwhelmed. And so we walked away from that moment renamed as the Marian Anderson String Quartet. And our time at Eastman passes, and unfortunately so did Ms. Anderson. And the composer of the piece that we're about to play, Samuel Adler, wanted to write something to commemorate that. And so he wrote what you're about to hear, which is based on a spiritual Marian Anderson often sang called Crucifixion. And he dedicated the piece both to her and to the Marian Anderson String Quartet. And we're honored to play that for you today. Samuel Adler is a 20th century composer, so the sounds are very kind of esoteric and evocative. And I thought the best way for us to appreciate his incredible work was for us to appreciate the original song, the hymn, the spiritual that it was based on, Crucifixion. And so we're about to teach it to you now with my quartet's help. And if I remember, the words are, "They crucified my Lord. They crucified my Lord. They crucified my Lord, and he never said a mumbling word. Not a word, not a word, not a word.
Good evening. It has been such a delight and a pleasure to be here. As you just heard Deidre speak about the experience of meeting Marian Anderson and receiving her graciousness, her gracious permission to use her name and carry her legacy into the 21st century, we are honored tonight to share with you another spiritual that she sang. And this spiritual truly represents the heart of Marian Anderson's legacy and also the quartet's mission to bring people together through the beauty of music and experience its power. Marian Anderson knew how important this was. She knew how important it was to represent her history and ancestry alongside of the beautiful classical music that she sang so well. And tonight, we are performing a work, a spiritual, that was particularly meaningful not only to her, but also to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This spiritual is brought to us by the sweat and the blood and the tears and the sorrow of our enslaved ancestors. And also, it's brought to us by scripture. It's from Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 22. And it asks the question, is there a balm in Gilead? And the answer to that question is yes. Yes, there is. Marian Anderson stood on the strength of this promise. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. And she stood on this promise when she was denied access to the stage, to the right to sing at Constitution Hall in 1939. But her response, because of this understanding, was not anger. Her response was to come out on stage and sing deeply from the heart, from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial to an audience of 75,000 people on Easter Sunday morning. And she proved in this act of love that there's no barrier that can silence the human spirit. When she sang, she turned the lament into a promise of freedom. And Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., he also sang this as a spiritual, finding deep comfort in his most trying times. And he would sing these words of healing also with his colleagues. In 1963, he invited Marian Anderson to come and sing this spiritual at the March on Washington, linking her sound with his dream. In 1964, in his speech, "I See a Promised Land," he referenced this promise of healing and wholeness. And tonight's arrangement comes from our dear friend, Jonathan McNair, who is the composition teacher and the head of the composition department at University of Tennessee in Chattanooga. He wrote this arrangement specifically for the Marian Anderson String Quartet to honor Marian Anderson's legacy. And he, in doing this, like so many other composers and artists, they have brought the style and the harmonies and the emotions of the time in which they lived. Jonathan understands that this spiritual is just, if not more relevant today than it's ever been. And so we will be performing for you tonight. There is a balm in Gilead. And I want you to know that this music doesn't just remember the past. It actively creates the healing that it promises. Tonight, we invite you to join us in being a part of that continuing legacy. you hear a spiritual like that, and it's like, okay, you have a little hope for tomorrow. You have a little belief in what can come next. And there are thousands of those spirituals, at least hundreds, 800 or so, that the Johnson brothers have collected, and others that we haven't even discovered yet. So what a beautiful body of amazing music literature. One beautiful thing about being in an ensemble like this is all about developing relationships. And I also want to thank Tony, Rami, Alicia for being so welcoming from the very beginning and allowing us to feel at home even though we hadn't even come in the door yet. This is so amazing. Yeah. Go RISD! Yeah. And so, but the beauty, if you hear this, I'm sitting here, it's almost like the first time I ever hear my colleagues speak is when I hear them in another concert. And to hear the stories of our ancestors put into music with purchaser's option, to hear the stories of meeting Marian Anderson and living legend composer Sam Adler, to again, what Prudence was speaking to, and the wonderful love and hope that's embodied in the spiritual, and how we keep trying to reimagine that love through these songs. And so this piece that's coming is no different. This is written by the same composer, Jonathan McNair, who we played at where he is at the University of Tennessee and had the opportunity to learn more about his writing. He had written this piece for Woodwind Quintet, and I think it was Deirdre that came over to him and said, hey, what about string quartet? So later on, yeah. So he reimagined it for string quartet. Actually, he also reimagined it for string quartet and orchestra, as well with the narration. And this piece, of course, is based on a wonderful song that we know Harriet Tubman gathered and guided thousands of enslaved people to freedom through this song by watching the drinking gourd, the stars. Make sure you're looking to the stars. And so it's a beautiful dedication to all the relationships, the beginning of what a relationship can be, right? And how relationships can lead us to a shared vision amongst each other. And so the moral story, that's why I love being in this group, by the way. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Tony Johnson to the stage, who is going to narrate this woohoo, wonderful piece of music to us. He's going to, of course, this is an interactive piece, as he mentioned in his introduction, so you too will be a part of this wonderful performance. Without further ado, Tony Johnson.
So this piece takes the musical listener on a powerful historic journey using music, literature, and the melodies of 3 spirituals. So in order to do this, the quartet needs your help. They will need you to help sing. So turn to your neighbor and tell them they need me. Turn to them and say, watch out, this is my big break, they need me. There's a refrain in this piece that we invite everyone to sing along. I'm going to teach it to you, and then during the piece, I will cue you as to when it is time for the audience to sing along. The words are on the screen, as you can see, and they're also in your digital booklet for those using their devices. So the refrain is, follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is a-waiting for to carry you to freedom if you follow the drinking gourd. So we're gonna do a little bit of call and response. I'm going to sing the line and you sing it exactly how I sing it. And we'll keep doing that until you get it, all right? So those 4 lines, all right? So let's give it a try. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is waiting for to carry you to freedom. For the old man is waiting for to carry you to freedom. If you follow the drinking gourd. If you follow the drinking gourd. Let's try it again. I'll start it. You do it. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is waiting for to carry you to freedom. If you follow the drinking gourd. All right, I think you got it. So turn to your neighbor and say, watch out. Watch out. Because you're about to hear something you never heard before. That could be good or bad. Okay, I think we're ready. So we present Follow the Drinking Gourd, performed by the Marian Anderson String Quartet, showcasing the story and pictures of the same title by Jeanette Winter and narrated by yours truly, Tony Johnson. Follow the drinking gourd, follow the drinking gourd, for the old man is waiting for to carry you to freedom if you follow the drinking gourd. Let's sing it again. Follow the drinking gourd, follow the drinking gourd, for the old man is waiting for to carry you to freedom if you follow the drinking gourd. Long ago, before the Civil War, there was an old soldier called Peg-Leg Joe. He did what he could to help free the slaves. Now, Joe had a plan. He'd use hammer and nail and saw, and he'd work for the master. That was the man who owned slaves on the cotton plantation.
Now, Joe, he had a plan. At work, when work was done, he would teach the slaves a song that secretly told the way to freedom. Just follow the drinking gourd, is what it said. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is waiting to carry you to freedom if you follow the drinking gourd. That's what the song said. And when the song was learned, and it was sung all day long, Peg-Leg Joe would slip away. He'd slip away to work for another master and teach the song again. Follow the drinking gourd, follow the drinking gourd, for the old man is waiting to carry you to freedom if you follow the drinking gourd. Well, one day, a slave called Molly, she saw her man James sold to another master. James was to be taken away and the family torn apart. They had just one more night together. A quail called in the trees that night. Molly and James remembered Joe's song, and they sang it low. When the sun comes back and the first quail calls, follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is waiting to carry you to freedom if you follow the drinking gourd. They looked to the sky and they saw the stars. Taking their little son Isaiah, old Hattie and her grandson George, Molly and James, they set out for freedom that very night. And they followed the stars of the drinking gourd. Oh, they ran all night through the fields till they crossed the streams to the woods. And when daylight came, they hid in the trees. They were watching and listening for the master's hounds who were set loose to find them. But the dogs lost the runaways' scent at the stream, and Molly and James and Isaiah, old Hattie and young George, they weren't found. They hid all day in the woods. And at night they walked again and again, singing Joe's song and looking for the stars that marked the trail. Walking by night, sleeping by day, for weeks they traveled on. Sometimes berries to pick, corn to snatch, sometimes a fish to catch, and sometimes empty bellies to sleep on. Sometimes there were no stars to guide the way at all. They never knew what lay ahead. There was danger from men who would send them back, and danger from hungry, hungry, hungry beasts. but sometimes a kind deed was done. One day, as they hid in a thicket, a boy on a farm found them, and in a bag of feed for the hogs in the wood, he brought them bacon and cornbread to share. Singing low, they traveled on and on and on and on, following the trail to the river's end. From the very top of the hill, they saw the new path, another river beneath the stars, to lead them to freedom's land. The drinking gourd led them on. The song was almost done. When the great big river meets the little river, follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is waiting for to carry you to freedom if you follow the drinking gourd. Then they climbed the last hill. Down below was Peg-Leg Joe waiting at the wide Ohio River to carry them across. Their spirits rose when they saw that old man. Molly and James and Isaiah, old Hattie and George, woo, they ran to the shore. Under a starry sky, Joe rowed them across the wide Ohio River. He told them of hiding places where they would be safe. A path of houses stretched out like a train on a secret track leading north to Canada. He called it the Underground Railroad, and it carried riders to freedom. The first safe house stood on a hill, and the lamp was lit, which meant that it was safe to come in. Ragged and weary, they waited while Joe signaled low with the hoot like an owl. Hoot, hoot. Then the door opened wide to welcome the freedom travelers. They were rushed through the house to the barn because the farmers knew that the slave catchers were near. There was a trap door in the floor, and he took them there under the barn to hide until it was safe to move on. Then Peg-Leg Joe went back to the river to meet others who had also followed the drinking gourd. But with danger still near, too close to ease, the farmers sent the 5 travelers on. He drew a map that showed the way north on that midnight road. That road to the next safe house, just 2 hills over. Now this time, James called the signal like an owl. Hoo, hoo. That opened the door to a Quaker farm, and the travelers were led to a secret room behind the shelves. Well, there they rested for many days, and they healed their wounds. They had soft beds, full meals, new clothes, and hot baths even washed away some of the fear and the pain. Little Isaiah smiled. When they were strong, they traveled again from house to house on this underground trail, still following the drinking gourd north. Sometimes they traveled on foot, sometimes by cart. The wagon that they rode near the journey's end carried fruit to the market and carried the runaways to freedom. Well, at last they came to the shores of Lake Erie, and Molly and James and Isaiah, old Hattie and young George climbed aboard that steamship, that one that would carry them across to Canada, to freedom. 5 more souls are safe, old Hattie cried. The sun sure shone bright when they stepped onto that land. They had followed the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd, follow the drinking gourd, for the old man is a-waiting for to carry you to freedom if you follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd, follow the drinking gourd, for the old man is a-waiting for to carry you to freedom if you follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd.
Now, tonight's next selection is the concert's final piece. It may be new to some and quite familiar to others. It is Lift Every Voice and Sing, often referred to as the Negro or Black National Anthem. It was written as a poem by James Weldon Johnson and then set to musical arrangement by his brother, John Johnson. This February, the song celebrated its 126th birthday as an inspiration, guiding light, and testament to the truth of the human experience and the continued onwardness of the Black and African American experience in U.S. North America. Similar to most national anthems, it is customary to stand if one is able. Unlike the U.S. national anthem, one's hand need not be placed on their heart. Rather, one is encouraged to, with the heart, examine, reflect, and give thanks to the ancestors whose strength and determination made it possible for you to be here today. We also must bear the question, what pathways must I blaze today for those who are coming tomorrow? I invite those interested to stand as we sing Lift Every Voice and Sing, led by the musical virtuosi of the Marian Anderson String Quartet. Please stand if you're able. The words are on the screen, and they're also in your digital booklet if you chose to use it. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
Come on, everybody, the Marian Anderson String Quartet! Did you enjoy tonight? One more round of applause for the 2026 MLK honorees and keynote concert, the Marian Anderson String Quartet. Now, if you would remain here, please. We have one more thing. Miss Deidre, we have one more thing. One more thing. We have a tradition here. When we ask individuals to come to our MLK event, it is both a salute to you as individuals, but as a salute to your career and your impact and the love of your discipline and your craft. And so we are delighted to honor you tonight, not just for your beautiful music, your gift and your talent that you so freely share, but to honor you for you, your vision, your purpose, and your onwardness. We honor you. And so with that, we want to present a little bit of RISD to you. Each of you, we have a special gift for each of you as our honorees. They are ceramic mugs that you'll see here. Ceramic mugs by alumni Laura Zindel. She is an artist and designer who combines her passion for ceramics and naturalist illustrations to unique housewares. Her work integrates technique from arts and crafts movements and modern industrial design into decorative arts in the natural world. So we want you to take a little bit of us with you, a little bit of beauty to give you and the ones you love joy. So thank you so much. Can we give another round of applause to the Marian Anderson String Quartet? Onwardness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming tonight. Have a great night. We hope you're inspired. Follow the drinking gourd.